Welcome to the show, live from Mesa, Arizona, with your host, Garrison Stevens. Ryan Dieter. Hold on. There he is. Produced by Keaton Mangiolo.
Yeah.
Just two Beardos.
Welcome back to Just Two Beardos. We got a special edition here for you. Usually we've been doing fantasy football, but we are going to have other content as well. So it's October. We got Halloween going on. So these episodes are going to be called Freaky Feardos
Oh, yeah.
instead. So it should be a good time. If you like what you see, literally like it on YouTube, subscribe to it, and hit the bell at the bottom as well. But we got new guests with us because it is a new episode. We got Lisette.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And her lovely husband, Jordan.
Yes, that is me. Hi, how's it going?
Cuter than usual right now.
And we actually have a new guest as well, right? Oh, sorry, this is Garrison without a beard.
Hey, how we doing, everyone?
Didn't recognize him there.
It's all good, you guys. We got you a beard, Gar.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Yours was better before.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to wear this. This
you
looks
gotta,
itchy.
you gotta wear it.
Otherwise,
two
it's
Beardos.
one beard.
It's just two Beardos.
Yeah, we got
can't
we got a beard here and then a barely.
I don't know if I can put it
What,
on.
am I a barely beardo?
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
are.
haven't
I was
like
pointing-
waxed in
Got a
like.
cute little mustache going on.
That's a little tough to put around the old headset there, Keith.
You gotta do it. It's just two Beardos. Take the headset off and put it on.
Oh, man.
I got
what
my
a
barely
tough
Beardo
one.
right here.
It's punishment for shaving.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man.
We want to watch a video since it is Halloween, a scare video here, and it's of our own producer Keaton and his girlfriend Carrie. So she's actually on the bad end of the stick here for a lot of these scares. So let's just roll the clip.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting scared.
Hey.
It was like Batman.
Yeah.
Where are the drugs? Why are you walking? Rachel.
Poor Carrie.
It doesn't take much for care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just do that throughout the podcast.
Batman voice. But yeah, there are probably going to be more videos of Carrie throughout this month of her getting scared.
Yeah. I got to start making some with my fiance. That'd be funny.
Yes.
She hates getting scared, too, but I always scare her.
Jordan, now I'm feeling left out. Like, do you love me
I
or
do
not?
scare you. I do scare you, but I'm scared to scare you sometimes because you get so mad.
Yeah, okay, fair.
So,
That's true.
so you know, yeah.
again, we have Lisette and Jordan. So Lisette, give us a little bit of your background, who you are.
Okay, so I study journalism. I'm a native to Arizona. I'm married to Jordan. We've been married 2 years
She doesn't.
I know.
A year
and a half.
and a half.
Yeah, a year and
Almost.
5 months. Okay,
Yes.
best years of my life. Yeah, so like I said, I study journalism. I'm a dancer. I'm a writer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've known
Basically
these guys for all.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I do it all.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan, let's hear about you.
Well, I'm Jordan. I am married to Lisette. Don't call her that. She
Yeah.
doesn't like that.
Or
It's-
Lisette. It
it's
can't be
not
Lisette.
It's not Lisette. It's not Lisette. It's just
Lisette.
Lisette. Or Sweaty Lisette is what I call
No, that's never been my nickname.
It's all coming out.
Yeah, I like that one.
I
Sure.
don't even sweat. You guys should see him.
Anyways, and I am a nurse. Been doing the whole nursing thing for 2 years, 2.5 years now. And I just like to do outdoors stuff and hang out with friends and snowboard and wear funky eyes. And
Sounds like you like to party.
I like to party.
likes to party.
But that's what I meant to say.
I'm Jordan, I like
mostly
to party.
and I
Yeah.
like to party. So
I'm Garrison, and I like to
no,
party.
no,
Only Jordan,
doesn't.
only Jordan parties.
and Lisette.
So in these episodes, it's gonna be a Halloween theme. So we're gonna have different topics such as gruesome injuries. We're gonna have like scary stories of like kidnappings, paranormal stuff, and anything along the lines throughout this month. So we'll jump into it with Lisette. Lisette has a couple stories to start us off with, and I believe there's one about a guy in your backyard.
Yeah, so that's true.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like right where it jumps in. So I'm doing homework. I think this was like junior year of high school or something.
Okay.
And previously we had heard footsteps in the backyard. And so my brothers had been like telling me this was going on. And I'm like, thanks for the visual. It sounded a little different
It's the
than
audio
that.
as well.
Yeah. No, so I was scared. So I'm doing my homework in my mom's room. Like she's asleep in the bed. I'm behind the couch. I'm doing homework. And you know how like most houses here in Arizona, you got that gravel
Yep.
on the side? Mm-hmm. So I hear these footsteps, like human footsteps along the gravel. And I'm just like, oh no. Like hopefully this is something else. Hopefully that's a neighbor. And then I hear it come onto the concrete, which is right by my mom's door of like the bedroom doors. And it walks and I can see the shadow of a person behind the blinds. And so I'm like doing my homework and I just start like sinking lower and lower
shit.
behind the couch. I'm like, what do I do? Like, in those moments, you always think you're going to be the person who like,
Oh, yeah, you think
calls
you're going to be the
everyone.
tough guy. Knowing me, I would run.
Yeah. Well, I just froze. Like, I didn't do anything, but I'm like not breathing. And I'm like, I need to get to the phone. I need to call 911. But then if I do something, like, what if he smashes our window? Like, I don't know why he's here. And like to this day, I still don't know. But here's the
Could have been a
creepy
her.
thing.
Just saying.
A her? Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Or they.
Let's
Big feminist
equal
here.
opportunity.
So
Don't assume.
it could have been her. So he or she, I have no clue like why they were there in the backyard.
Jeez.
But then here's the thing is then my mom woke up another night, and she saw someone standing there again, and they're like waving their arm like in these weird patterns. Like as if they're holding like a wand.
Like Disney Channel. Oh, I'm Zac Efron and this is Disney Channel. Like that?
Yeah,
Or
but like even scarier than that.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Disney Channel might top that.
It's a big D.
No, that's scary.
Which D?
No, but like, don't be crash. Line. No, but I mean, like, what is that? Is someone like casting a spell?
Oh, it must be Harry Potter or something.
I know.
It's
Well, I
it's
love
crazy.
Harry Potter, but no, this was like eerie.
So it would have been cool.
Yeah. And then, I mean, days later, my brother said they saw cupped hands against their window, like
Okay.
looking in.
I would just. I would have called 911 by now or got a gun or something. That's too much for me, man. If I woke up and I saw someone cupping their hand,
Yeah, I know.
I'm done.
I
I'm
don't know
done.
why we didn't do anything, but it finally stopped after like a week.
Wait,
but
was
I
this
was
at
terrified.
night or
yes.
during the day? It's all at night?
Every time it was at night,
Ugh.
which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like this, literally for like a week, this went on.
And then it just stopped.
Yeah,
They
I know,
got
and then it
disinterested.
stopped.
They got disinterested in your family.
Yeah,
These guys are too
apparently.
boring. We don't want to kill
Maybe they
them.
wanted
I've been
us to kill
sitting
them.
on this. I've been sitting on this for 8 years now. It was me. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if this like comes out from one of you two.
I was just sitting there.
Bippity boo. Bippity bippity boo.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean that pretty much sums it up. But that's enough to like make anyone
Yeah.
scared and scarred for like the rest of your life.
Yeah, and you were how old?
Like I don't know. In high school at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
No.
Aye.
Yeah, I like
don't like
literally
that.
can't sleep in the dark. I feel like for like years after that I couldn't sleep in the dark.
I don't want to go to my apartment tonight. I'm scared
I
now.
was
I
gonna
know.
say my goal for the podcast tonight is for Garrison not to get any sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So this is
it's
only
gonna
story
happen.
one. Yeah, this
it's
is
gonna
only story
happen.
one.
I know this paranormal activity story coming up. I don't think I'm gonna like it at all.
Oh, you're not.
For those of you who don't know, I don't like scary crap. All right, so like scary movies, all these Ryan and Keaton get me to go to these scary movies, and then I regret it, and I can't sleep for like 2 weeks.
Well, when we were young, Gary used to be scared of Harry Potter 1.
Okay.
Oh, so
Wait, you
that
got
story
scared?
really hit you hard
Yeah.
then with this whole.
With the one thing, it brought back memories, man.
Don't say his
You
name.
said it like it was no big deal. You're like, oh yeah, like Harry Potter, but you're really like,
But really, it's a defense mechanism. I was trying to. So, yeah.
All right. Well, and then you also have a kidnapping story or potential kidnapping.
okay, yeah. And I actually know how old I was with this one. So I'm like 12 years old. My friend and I, right, we're walking back from our neighborhood pool, like the community pool. And as we're walking up, we just see like a car parked like along the street, which you wouldn't think anything weird of that, right? But like we both got this like weird vibe. You know how I feel like you have that like intuition? And I'm like, I feel weird. I feel like scared. She's like, I feel like that car, like something's weird about it. I'm like, but I don't think anyone's in there. And so we like keep walking towards it and we're like, no, I just don't feel like we should pass it. So we cross the street to the other side. And as we pass it, the car turns on. And we're like, what the heck? Someone was in there. So I feel like these people, once I get to the end of the story, I feel like they wanted us to just walk past thinking there was no one there and then potentially would have grabbed us. But so we're walking, the car turns on and it starts following us.
Oh, gosh.
And we're like, okay, maybe we're being paranoid. You know what? Let's just like smart thinking of these 12-year-olds. Let's pretend this is our house, like right here. So we walk up to this house, like, oh yeah, going home from the pool, no big deal. And the car pulls into the driveway.
Oh, my.
But then I'm like, oh, it's their house. I feel so stupid. This is their house. And so we're like, oh, let's just pretend we went to the wrong house. Let's just go one house over. So we walk one over, and the car pulls out, and it goes in the driveway, that other driveway. And we're like,
Oh, I'm done.
and then I don't know. We both like knew, and we drop our towels, literally dropped them, and just start like sprinting. And we're going backwards because we hope that as the car like has to back and go back the other way, it would buy us some time. So we're backtracking the way we came. And there was someone I knew, one of my neighbors, and they had all these cars like in the lot. So we're like, they won't be able to pull into the driveway. So we're like just running. No time to talk about this. Like, it's my neighborhood, so I feel like responsible. And we go up and we start banging on the door. We're just like, come on, help us, help us. And this car pulls up. 2 guys. It actually was guys this time. 2 guys.
Of course.
Touche.
Yeah. They pull up in the
Got
car.
me.
And one of them gets out and starts walking towards us.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're just like, help, please, please. Just like banging on the door frantically. And I'm like, I'm going to get kidnapped. Like, this is the moment in my life my mom always told me about. Like, when you see something sketchy, like, you get out of there.
Your mom told you were going to get kidnapped?
Might be this week, might be another week. We don't know yet.
Well, my mom
3 weeks later.
My mom always read like those scary novels, like The Lovely Bones and stuff, and then she like wouldn't let me outside for like a week at a time.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like, oh, it's all happening. So anyways, this guy gets out and he's walking towards me, like I remember it. And I remember like looking at him as I'm like banging on the door, like just like waiting if I need to run, hoping someone's gonna answer the door. And then the other guy in the passenger seat's like, no man, come on, we gotta go. Like, if they open up the door, they're going to see our faces. Like, he didn't say this, but I think that's what they're thinking. Like, they're going to see us or license plate or something. He's like, no, man, we got to go. So the other guy gets back in the car, and they drive away. The scariest part is that no one ever answered the door.
Oh.
What the heck?
And so we're
Some
like,
neighbors.
we like ran home. We had to go all the way around the corner. We were like, we didn't know who else to go to. We don't want to walk into another creepy, house.
Yeah.
So we run all the way home and we like told my mom. And then, I never walked my dog like alone for years, like probably till I was like 18. So
My heart's racing.
this is the worst part though.
I was gonna say.
I thought that was better.
Finish the story here.
Oh, my.
No, this is the worst part. So then a week later, no, like 2 days later, do you guys know Candlelight Park?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A girl got kidnapped there 2 days later and
You're
they didn't
kidding.
find her. I'm
They
not
didn't
kidding.
find her?
What?
They didn't find her?
No, they didn't
Wow.
find her.
Do you know the name?
No, I don't, because I was so young, but it was like 48 hours, and my mom's like, oh no, she's probably gone. And I'm like, that could have been me.
What the
Right?
frick?
Holy cow.
Gosh, that's the neighborhood I grew up in. I'm terrified.
When you said no one answered the door, I got like a flashback to the movie It, where like the kind of
haven't seen
the
it.
whole city kind
Whoa.
of turns their head away from the
Oh,
clown
yeah.
taking kids.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So they
Yeah.
probably saw you through the blinds. You're like,
They're like, nope,
Yeah.
you're not going to be
Yeah.
involved in this.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so scary. So, yeah, I'm still scared of getting kidnapped, and I'm like an adult. You can ask
Yeah.
Jordan.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's legitimate.
She sleeps with our Nerf gun under the bed.
Nerf.
Yeah. Or my mace. How about that?
Okay, there you go. And the mace.
yeah,
I need
you
to
should,
start
you should
carrying
get
a
a water
gun.
gun filled with mace.
Yeah, ooh.
Ooh.
They'll be like, yeah, they're gonna be like, what are you gonna do with that? And then you squirt them in the eyes. My eyes!
Hopefully, unless I like squirt it wrong and it doesn't do anything.
Squirts in her own face.
Jordan plays a prank on her, pours
breaks.
water instead. She gets kidnapped.
Is that the joke?
Is that the joke?
Oh my gosh! Don't get ideas, Jordan. I hate that. I hate everything
He's
about
playing with
that.
his eyeballs.
Yeah, he's playing with his eyes over there.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's some crazy stuff though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we see a lot of it in the news now with kids being kidnapped. So it's just a
Yeah.
huge topic right now.
That's terrifying, man.
Well, and both those are like before I graduate high school. I'm like, wow,
geez.
great start.
Yeah, a couple nights ago, my head coach wanted me to walk his wife and kid to the truck, which is, I felt was normal. So, I mean, it's just, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie, my girlfriend, still runs inside when she parks her car, and it's about a 10-foot run.
Run!
Oh my gosh.
But of course, the gentleman
Yeah.
that I am, I always wait for her for about 2 seconds, and then I go.
The gentleman I am, right when she gets out of the car, I drive right away.
I don't even think the door's shut yet. I just.
Sometimes I've even rolled over. So, that's the gentleman I am.
Oh my gosh. That's extra treatment.
No, but
Extra
honestly,
special
I do wait. I wait at least 8 seconds.
At
What a
least
good
eight.
boyfriend
That
you
gives
are.
her 2 seconds because you said
Yeah.
10. So
She runs
my
fast.
gosh.
She runs real fast.
That's true. She does. Sweet. Well, we got Jordan here as well, and he's got some stories for us. So we're going to switch over to Jordan. He's got a story about a snake bite.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking it was okay. Well, this was not me, unfortunately. Fortunately,
Unfortunately, dang it wasn't me.
it's not me that got bit by a snake.
I was about to say, is this like a superhero where someone got bit by a snake and now they're like a superhero
Serpent,
another
because
yeah.
of it?
super like Mr. Snake?
Super serpent.
Yes, they call him Snake Man.
No, it's
Super original.
Snake man. No, this was because I told you I'm a nurse, so I'm working in the ICU, and this is just like what, a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago.
And we actually in the ICU we get like snake bites pretty often. Like I didn't realize that, but they get snake bites like probably a couple a week, and they pretty much always come to the ICU because it can be pretty serious. And like 9 times out of 10, it's like somebody was trying to like mess with the snake, and they like piss it off, and it bites them on the ankle, and they have to come in. But this particular
I just know it's coming.
I have no clue. So
well,
I'm
it's just
nervous
this
because I hate snakes.
This particular patient, when I was getting a report from the nurse, that I was taking over for, was telling me that this patient had been bit on the butt, and not like just like the butt cheek.
Where,
which,
yeah, specifically where?
like, okay, you have a right butt cheek and a left butt cheek.
Yeah.
Most people,
And then
yeah.
Most people. I don't, but most people do.
Can you confirm?
I cannot
confirm.
confirm or deny.
No, it was right in the middle where you got a butthole.
What?
So
Up
this
the
patient,
butthole.
yeah, somehow his story was, and
Yeah,
he's like
what is
80
his
years
story?
old. He was 80 years old.
Did he sit on the snake?
No, apparently this is his story. This is his story, not me not making this up. He said, "Yeah, well, we get a lot of them in the house, and so my wife and I were asleep, and at about 1 a.m. I heard something moving around, so I had her get me the snake stick, and then I
The fact
got
that
up."
this happens like regularly,
Yeah, like, it's, like,
this is a
in
your
problem.
house.
There's a designated
This is
stick for
normal.
this.
It's
Honey, grab the snake stick again.
Yeah, I
It's
got
like,
another
what?
rattler. Yeah.
Fix the problem.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
jeez.
Like, where do they live? Yeah. And he I guess went to like do his thing with the snake stick, like pick it up or like mess with it or move it around, and he like lost the stick. I don't know if like the stick grabbed it from him or what.
Honey, get the backup snake stick.
And so he lost the stick, and then he like went to walk back, and he's like 80 years old, and so he fell down, and then I guess that's when the snake just
Oh my
got him.
god.
But like, how do you fall and your bum cheek just
Yeah, it was just wide open. He falls, legs wide open, and the snake.
You know, he was courteous about it.
Yeah, jeez.
I think it's the same snake that Moses encountered, and the snake now ported the cheeks and got in there.
Gosh.
No way, dude.
It's,
I'm like Indiana Jones, man. I hate snakes. Okay, I can't handle them. If I see one, I'm booking it the other way.
Yeah.
I don't
Just don't fall on it.
Yeah, just,
Especially
You need a
like,
snake
With your butt
stick,
cheek
though.
spread.
yeah. I gotta get my snake stick.
and a backup stick.
So-
you never know.
Yeah, so we
You
had to
never know you're
like
gonna fall.
check the bite spot like every 2 hours or whatever, make sure that like the venom hadn't spread.
How did it look?
Yeah, what kind of
It
complications?
was, by the
were there?
time I was taking care of him, it was fine.
Like a
There-
normal saggy butthole.
Yeah, normal
Oh,
80-year-old
gosh.
normal 80-year-old butthole, a little bit bruised.
Oh, that's like.
Seen plenty of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Fortunately for me. Yeah. So
Wait, was there
Yeah.
any kind of complications going to the bathroom or anything?
for him,
Yeah.
Ryan, he was 80.
he
Yes.
was 80. So yes, naturally.
Maybe it helped it out.
Oh, you know what? The weirdest thing, I can poop now.
He like did it on purpose.
I haven't
Some,
pooped like this in
weird
40
treatment.
years.
Oh my gosh.
No, he, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. We could follow up with it. So how's your butthole?
Yeah.
Can we get him on the phone and just call him right now?
Yeah.
How's that butthole of yours?
And do you still have snakes? Like I'm sure he does.
Well,
You still have
he
your
said,
snake
He
stick?
said it was because they like lived in this house that was like made of straw or something. I literally what I pictured was like
one of the
Big
three
Bad
little
Wolf.
pigs.
yes, that's literally what I was
Instead
gonna
of a wolf,
say.
it's like a
What I
snake.
pictured was
Yeah,
like
like
the
that.
3 different houses that he makes, right? And what is it, like straw for
Brick,
brick,
sand,
or
Brick's the
wood.
last
Wait,
one,
we
isn't
don't
it?
know the stories that well. I don't
Yeah,
know.
clearly
Yeah.
it didn't
Clearly, we all suck at this.
stick. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Anyway.
straw's one of them.
Sticks.
Straw's like
I think straw, sticks, and brick.
Yeah.
Snake sticks?
That's
like
where he
made out of
got.
snakes.
That's why he has so many
All
snake
snake
sticks.
sticks.
his house is made of snakes. So yeah, that was my snake bite story.
And what kind of snake was it? I'm curious.
It was a rattler. I don't know. I agree. He knew what it was. Apparently, he was like, "Oh, it's
When he
one of them
bites you in the
Green
butt,
River."
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
I
this is
saw
the
it.
third time, and this
Yeah.
is the third different snake that's bitten me right in the butthole.
Like, I don't know.
got me there
I don't know
again.
how I keep getting there. Weird.
It's weird. I
Yeah.
kind of like it after the
I
third
mean-
time.
Oh, that when he came home and told me the story, like that's the funniest thing is like every morning I'm like, what's it gonna be? You know?
Oh,
And he comes home and he's like, this guy got bit by a snake. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, on the butthole.
On the butthole. Like not.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I think I would have been on the floor laughing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that like would hear it was like, "What, for real?"
I'm like, why?
And everybody's like, "Sure, that's how it happened."
Yeah.
I feel like there's like other nurses like coming by the window and it's like,
That's the
That's
one.
the butthole guy.
Yeah. What a legend.
Yeah.
You know Maurice? That's him again.
Maurice.
I mean, he's 80, so the name kind of fits.
So, yeah.
oh man. Okay. And then you have another one, and this one was your first code, and I don't know really what that means. So can you explain?
Yeah, so a code, it's well, in the hospital you have like all sorts of different codes, and they go by different colors. So like code red is a fire. Code pink is like a stolen baby. Like that
jeez.
gets called fairly often
That
because
was
they
you.
literally lose a baby. That could have been you.
Yeah.
Stolen 12-year-old.
Yeah. That could
So-
have been me.
And code black is butthole bites.
Yes. Like a black hole. Code brown is when that's actually not like a legit code, but like when somebody poops. Code brown. No.
Oh my gosh. I was like, that happens every day.
Yeah. But code blue is like the codes you see in the movies, like code blue, like their heart stops beating and everybody rushes in and you start doing chest compressions and they hook you up to the defibrillator and they shock you and they give you all sorts of different medications and whatnot. Anyway, so my first code, I was a student, like a nursing student, and this was in little town in Idaho, Rexburg, Idaho. And I was working the night shift. I was, like I said, I was a student, so I was in the emergency department, and they basically just said, like, got heads up that somebody was coming in that was coding. So some guy was out in the community and fell over, and the like paramedics and stuff
Do you have
brought
the
him in.
button?
What's that?
Do you have that button where it said help?
The
phone?
life alert.
Yeah. Life
No,
alert.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
Was
But-
it Maurice again?
it was.
Yeah.
It was Maurice. And the weird thing, it was the
Can't get rid
same.
of this
It was
guy.
the same guy. No.
Oh, I was like, no way! I was like, that would have been crazy.
Anyway, so they roll him in, and it's just crazy. Like this is like, because you hear about it all the time, like a code blue. Okay, like what are you gonna do? Like you got to be on it. This is like this person's life is at stake, and it's kind of like the movies. They come in and somebody's just on the gurney, like doing chest compressions, and then like you have to switch out like compressors because you get really tired doing that. So it was my turn, and I'm like, okay, all right, here we go. So I just like,
Wait, was that
I
your
go.
first time you had done CPR?
Yeah,
or no?
this is my first time doing
Oh,
CPR
wow.
like ever. Done it like a lot now, but like my first time, and I just remember like very, very clearly like that first chest compression, that first push, I just could feel like all the ribs were already broken,
Oh.
and just like a cough, like just like a slew of nasty vomit and blood and spit just like shot up out of his mouth onto my face, and onto my glasses.
That's so nasty.
Yeah,
like
it
I'm
was.
like borderline
It was
gagging.
nasty.
I know what I would have done.
Yeah.
Like and you can't stop the compressions.
And you can't stop compressions. You just keep going, man, until
God.
somebody
What a
finally
trooper.
covered up his face. Like yeah. So
Gosh.
that was, yeah. That's like I'll never forget that because it was just like on my face, on my glasses, and
Oh,
afterwards I
yuck.
had to like take my glasses off, and I was just like, whoa, like I mean. They looked like this too, and so like, it was like imagine
No
like
wonder you
getting
couldn't see the guy.
No wonder I couldn't see him.
That is crazy. The amount of fluids that came
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, you get.
That's
And
even
of course, it's like
worse.
when you do it, like the person before, no fluids were coming up.
I
But
don't
it was
know
when,
if they-
maybe
yeah.
like the
I don't
transition.
know what. Maybe I just
Yikes.
hit him too hard.
Maybe.
But oops. But
Dang it,
yeah.
Jordan, again.
Yeah. Whoops. They don't want me to do compressions anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Did you
that's
come
so
home like
nasty.
that to Lisette?
Yeah, I gave her a big kiss and a big hug. Jumped in bed.
No.
No shower.
No, when he comes home, like he's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Take your scrubs off." Like,
Yeah.
I know you're touching poop,
Yeah, after
pee,
hearing-
vomit. I
After
can't
hearing
deal
all
with
that, yeah. So that was pretty wild.
And we're not even talking about other patients. You're talking about his own poop, pee, and
Yeah.
Oh
vomit.
yeah, like his own bathroom
I
habits.
still,
Yeah.
still.
So this is one thing I
struggle
learned from the
wiping his hard.
office, though. Did you check for a wallet? Right.
Yeah. So somebody should be checking for a wallet. Yeah.
Like
So-
what? If you when? Like when you find a body?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you want to get, any information on them.
Okay.
That's helpful. Yeah. Like how old they are. If they're wearing like pendants. Some people wear like they're diabetic or like
Oh, okay.
if they
Right.
have certain
Check all
health
that.
conditions. Yeah. You wanna
So
check
the
all that.
office fact checked. It's true.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yep. Accurate. Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch.
Great show.
So like the product placement of this episode.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Dunder Mifflin. Where's our thing?
Put it on the screen. Okay, and then we have another story here. This one is about your arm. There's like a gnarly
Yeah.
scar on your arm here, and I believe we're gonna get photos to be able to put on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I
But
think
go
it's
ahead,
keeping
let's
some
hear
photos.
this.
So yeah, you probably can't. For those of you
Oh,
Oh.
dude, that is
Who are-
gnarly.
who are
Wait,
present,
and then the other side.
Yeah,
you got
it's on
the other side. and then
Whoa.
I could stand up and show you my hip. You got some.
This
nice-
is all the same incident.
Yeah, basically. This was in Mexico, on a 4-wheeler. Mexico and Puerto
I feel like most
Peñasco.
stories like that start
Yeah,
off
like
Mexico,
literally-
4-wheeler. All right.
Literally
Yeah. And
anybody
usually like
that
alcohol,
asks.
but you weren't drinking.
Yeah, but I wasn't drinking. So, but literally anybody that asks, they're like, "Oh, what was that? A 4-wheeler?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, Mexico?" Yeah.
They already
The
know.
first two.
They already know. I'm like, well, okay, I don't need to tell you my story. Yeah, so we were out riding in Mexico, 4-wheelers, and it's just like out in this dirt area with like a bunch of big, dirt mounds and like half bowls and stuff going around. And there's just like this big mound that kind of comes up and it goes and it like levels off, or so I thought. It levels off, comes back down. It reminded me of the when you see like a big like development being built, like housing development being built. They have like just these big mounds of dirt that come up and go down anyways. So we're just riding around on those and just messing around, just flying. And I came up one, and I couldn't really see what was ahead of me, but it just dropped off. So I came up and it kind of flattened out and then just dropped off. And so came up and I was going pretty slow just because I couldn't see what was on the other edge. And I just dropped straight down. And it was probably like a drop, like, I don't know, like the ceiling to the ground, maybe a little bit higher, probably a little bit higher than the ceiling to the ground on a 4-wheeler. And I don't know what happened or how it happened, but I ended up somehow breaking my arm because I just remember like rolling over something and my arm was like plastered to my torso. Like I could tell it had broken. And so it was like
Like it was like bending?
yeah, it was like bending.
Yikes.
And I was just like laying there. Obviously I knew I jacked myself up pretty bad. And then I like kind of felt with my other hand and I looked at my hand and it was all bloody.
Oh.
Because
Oh my
the
gosh.
bone popped right through here.
Yeah, I would have passed out by then.
Yeah, and I was like, I was close to like just like passing out. I was like, oh, I was going into shock, but like, yeah, so like it was a compound fracture, so the bone was sticking out right here, and then they had to like the dudes that we rented the quads from. I always think about this guy, like I wonder what he was thinking. Like he's like out there and sees me just laying there with a nasty broken arm. Somehow he gets me into his like side by side, and he drives me to the Mexican urgent care. And they like patched me up and sent me back home and had surgery the next day. They put a couple plates on it. I've got, you'll have to see the pictures. They're pretty gnarly. And then so they put a couple plates, like one plate on each bone. And then it didn't, like one of the two bones, the ulna didn't like grow back together. So a year later, I had to have it redone basically. And they had to take bone from my hip bone, and they took like 1 centimeter of bone and had to put it in my arm so it would grow back together.
Oh,
Dang.
So yeah, that's my gnarly scar issue.
Wait, so the hip one, I mean, I've like heard the story and I still haven't put this together, but like the hip bone was the connector piece of the two bones that wouldn't grow together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
man.
like have
I
to
didn't
like
really
shave it
understand
off of
why
your
there
hip
was that
bone.
hip
So if you like
surgery.
feel my hip, there's like a notch, like the size, like the width of like a thumb that is missing, a centimeter size thing of bone. So yeah. So that was my and there was another person on the quad and she broke her neck.
Wait,
So,
on the same quad as you?
yeah.
And
Wait.
it wasn't me.
Was it a
And it
girlfriend?
wasn't Lisette. And it actually wasn't a girlfriend.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I know.
Broke her neck,
And
but
she
she
broke her
like
neck.
wasn't paralyzed or
No,
anything,
she wasn't
right?
paralyzed.
Oh, that's
I
good.
always say that. People are like, oh,
Yeah.
you killed a person. No, she's okay. She just like cracked one of the vertebrae in her neck. She like actually stayed down in Mexico. Like I came up to back home,
And she's still there.
She stayed, and she's still there in a wheelchair. No,
Now she owns
On
the
the
quad
beach.
business.
yeah, she owns the
Renting them out.
quad. Owns the quad business because they,
Gives people a warning.
yeah. No, so
This
she
could happen
she
to
was
you if
fine.
you ride my quad.
Glowing
But-
endorsement.
Yeah, but I mean, it is funny because she ended up like it just was like super painful the next day, so she did end up coming home early, and then went to the hospital and found out that it was like a cracked vertebrae, and she was actually in the same hospital that I was at. So like I went up and saw her after my surgery, and like I have a picture of like the two of us. I could send you that. It's kind of
Dang.
funny.
Yeah.
jeez.
So yeah,
Sheesh.
that's my gnarly broken arm.
And then how
story.
old were you?
Like 23, 23,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, how old are you now?
28.
Okay.
So there's a few years ago, 5 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to realize that scar? And did you get turned on more? by after
Actually,
seeing
yeah,
this
I had to like write some like. Well, okay, wait. First question.
Wait.
I mean, every girl loves scars, right? It's cool. It's like something to talk about. It's like an attention grabber. Like, oh, hey,
I've got a
what
gnarly
happened?
one right here.
Wow.
Like that.
You love that? No, I like had to write a poem about like I don't even know what. So I had just met Jordan, so I wrote about it was like write some feature about someone, and I like wrote it about a scar, and then he read it. He's like, "This is about me." I'm like, "Yeah."
No, you said it was not about me.
Oh, really? Did I lie?
Did I lie?
I would do that. No, some other person with a
Some
huge
other
scar
person.
on
It
their
just
arm.
like your scar got me thinking, and I wrote it about some other person.
That's so funny. I was so bashful. It was early days.
That was the first thing I ever read of yours.
Swoon.
So your relationship's basically built on a lie.
On my scar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't even know the full story. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, that was it. So
Yeah, that is.
But I wouldn't say it turns me on a daily basis.
it does not.
No.
So I was looking at your scar while you were eating that taco.
It's looking real good.
It's looking real good.
glistens in
Looking
the
like
sun.
a snack.
Like a snack.
Oh,
Okay, well, let's transition to our big story of the night. Lisette's got a story based on paranormal activity stuff going on. So Garrison's hyped for this.
I'm nervous. I haven't heard this story. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't either. So I'm really interested to see how this shakes out. So
This is a bad one. Or a good one. However you want to look at it.
Oh no.
Oldie but goodie.
And oldie but a goodie. Yeah.
If she
Hashtag
starts the
oldie but
story
goodie.
with, so there was this clown. I'm gonna lose it.
No clown.
there's this
Okay.
guy with
Yeah.
glasses and a thunderbolt scar.
And he kept going like this outside our windows.
His name was like Harry or something.
Harrison.
Harrison.
Harris. Oh no.
Oh, yikes. Okay. So we had a lot of paranormal stuff go on at my old house. This was senior year, and this is how it started.
Just all your high school years, man.
Oh, I know.
What were
Brutal.
you doing
I know.
so wrong in your high school years?
I don't know, but a great
Rebel.
start to my life, right?
Yeah,
But I always had something to talk
glad
about.
you turned it around.
Glad you met me, right?
I'm the poster child. No, so I hear like these footsteps. I mean, that's enough. That's just scary enough, right? But again,
Can you
like
do it again?
this wasn't footsteps like outside. I hear these footsteps going down the hallway, this long hallway in my old house. My mom's room's here on this side. My room's here. Long hallway. Okay, kitchen in the middle, kind of kitchen and living room. Okay, you don't really need to know the full layout, but
I'm glad I
hallway-
do though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's important.
It's important to the story.
Important.
hallway
Just
is
in
important
case.
to know. So I hear these footsteps. I'm thinking my mom's just coming down the hallway. And then they'd stop right at my door. And I'm like, okay, that's a weird thing. Maybe my mom's just like listening in. Like, is she asleep or what's going
And
on?
again,
It was weird. I just
That's a different story, guys. So the footsteps. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? And I never just opened the door and checked, but I just figured it's my mom. You don't just think, oh, that's a ghost. Okay, yeah, that's our ghost friend. Like, you don't automatically think that. And then again, next night, I hear these footsteps come down the hallway. They go into the kitchen. I'm like, oh, she's just grabbing something from the kitchen, but I didn't hear like the fridge open or cabinets. Okay, this goes on for 2 weeks. And I tell my boyfriend at the time, like, I'm like, he doesn't believe in any of this stuff. And I tell him, like, I'm really scared. Like, I'm hearing these footsteps. I asked my mom if she was up late. She wasn't. I didn't even tell my mom, but I was like, am I going crazy? Like, this is so weird. So,
I think I might know who it was.
no.
it was
okay,
Garrison.
maybe.
Was it
Again.
It was Maurice looking for a snake.
Maurice
He's out there looking.
All right, what's going on here?
just stops at my bedroom door, though. So then my mom takes me out to Middle Eastern food. That's not important to the story.
No, it's very important.
What did you get? That's the big.
Yeah, because
Baklava.
there might be some
Maybe
there might
there
be
was
some hallucinogens in there.
yes, maybe. But well, this was after the 2 weeks, so we'll see. So my mom's like sits me down for lunch. She took me out like after school or something, and she's like, "Okay, Lisette, I don't want to alarm you, but for the past 2 weeks, I've been hearing footsteps." And I'm like, "Mom, I've been hearing footsteps for the past 2 weeks." And she's like, "I thought it was you, but I hear these footsteps, and they go from your side of the hallway to my side of the hallway. They come in my room, and they stand just like by my bed, and I sit up, and there's no one there. But I hear them stop, and I hear them walk." Yeah.
No.
And I don't know what to do at this point, but like, I don't know if
I've
this
heard
happens
this
to you
and it's
guys, but when I
creeping
get
me
really
out.
scared, like my eyes like water. Does that happen to anyone else? Maybe Jordan's eyes.
My eyes.
No, his just fall out of his head.
They just go,
Yeah, mine did that too.
"Oh, God."
No, so I'm just like frozen. I'm like, Mom, that I'm hearing the same thing. And it just stops at my door. Like, they don't come through my door. And I'm like, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was you. She's like, 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, the timeline matches up. She's like, okay, like, we'll just, I guess, like, keep an eye on it. Like, what do you do when you know it's
Set up
like,
some cameras.
it's not a real person. Like, she would hear the footsteps and then look at the edge of her bed and no one's there. And she's like getting creeped out. So what can you do at that point? So
Call the cops.
call Ghostbusters.
No,
Oh,
I
that's
call
a
a
good
real
idea.
estate company and I say, I want to sell my house.
Yeah, we should have
Yeah.
done that. She eventually did that.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So then, maybe like a week later, it's kind of like seems like it's happening on and off, and I'm like, I just don't know what to do. So we're just gonna deal with it, and like
We're just.
we're just dealing with this ghost in our
Garrison
house.
is stressing out right now.
I wouldn't be dealing with that. I'd be like, look, Mom, I'm going to sleep somewhere else.
I know.
We got some serious
Well, I'm like an
issues.
18-year-old, and my mom's like a single mom. I'd be like, can I sleep in your bed?
Yeah.
She's like, sure. So this one night, I get a drink from the kitchen. I'm going to walk in my room, and I like feel like really creepy. Like, you know how in the movies or
Oh, you
shows
feel
they say you
cold.
feel like cold. I literally felt cold, and I turn around and I look down the hallway at my mom's room. I kid you not. Believe me if you want. I see this dark figure, like huge, like dark figure, and it's in the shape of kind of a person, but kind of not. And it's just like, what'd you say?
Dementor.
Yeah, kind of. No,
That's what I'm
Oh,
picturing.
yeah.
No, honestly.
Because Harry Potter was outside
Yeah,
the
yeah,
window.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
Harry
makes
Potter
sense.
thing's gotta
It
go.
makes sense.
No, seriously, it looked like a Dementor, and I have never been so scared. I couldn't even like go tell my mom because I'd have to walk through this thing or go past her.
Oh.
So what do? I'm a coward, so I just like see it. I'm like, oh my freaking gosh! I just run in my room and I shut the door and I call my boyfriend, and I'm like, I just saw literally like a demon, like in my house. This thing's been going on. Things are adding up. Like something's not right. And he's like, okay, I don't believe in this stuff, but I believe you. I believe you saw that. And he's like, I'll just talk to you until you fall asleep. And I'm like, I can't live like this anymore. Like, I just hate this. And then we're talking on the phone for like 10 minutes. And my mom runs in and swings open the door, and her face is like white. She's like, Lisette, help. Like, I have to tell you what happened. And I'm like, what happened? And she's like, I was asleep. I've been asleep. And I just felt something lean over me. And it just like went, it just blew on her face.
Okay. I'm done.
I don't think
Just stop
I'm
there.
not done. Keep going.
Garrison-
Garrison.
Garrett isn't sleeping
And
at
How,
night.
yeah, there's no way I'm getting to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No, she's like terrified. And my mom's a tough lady. Like, but she is just like out of her mind. Like, something was leaning over me. Like, I just felt this thing
And it just
over
blew on
over
her
me.
face.
Yeah.
What?
Like it was blowing out a candle.
Yeah.
Did she say it smelled like anything?
No.
How tall was
Middle
this?
I don't know.
How tall was it?
Yeah, middle-
Baklava.
I don't know. But it was like, when I saw it at the hallway, it was like pretty huge.
Ugh.
Like to the ceiling or
No.
like
So, like,
6
we have
foot?
this archway that goes into her room, like over 6 foot, like over what like a tall man would be. And like, just like so scary.
Or
Like, I
woman.
looked at it and I was like, I just want to die. Like, that is the scariest thing.
Yeah, it's like that pit of your stomach. It's
Right.
like,
I feel that now.
Yeah. I'm like reliving it. I'm like scared. And so, yeah, I hang up the phone and my boyfriend thought like someone had broken in. So he starts like driving over to like, it's just me and my mom who live there, which is even worse for some
Yeah.
reason.
No, good on him. I mean, he just comes on over. What's he gonna do?
What's he going to do?
He's
I don't
gonna
know.
fight the Dementor. That's
Probably.
I think
Expecto Patronum up in here.
Jordan's feeling a
Yeah,
little.
good thing I wasn't your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Good
What have you
night.
done?
Sounds like you guys have it handled. I'm going to bed.
Sounds like you could hang up.
Oh, it's breaking. It's
Yeah, you're
I'm going through a tunnel. And hangs up.
phone died. No, so he shows up and he's like, what's going on? Like, did someone break in? And I'm like, no. I saw that thing. This is what happened with my mom. And he's like, what the heck? So he's like, okay, well, I'll stay the night here. And we all ended up sleeping in her bed. We were all so scared. Like, it was so...
Oh,
I see how he played that,
He's
though.
a-
He
Yeah.
played that well.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I think we
did that
all
too.
need to sleep
You
together.
better, there
He's
should be a
brave.
man in the house.
Very brave.
I'm a man, so I'll come
Actually-
over, I guess.
Tell your mom to go to the other room.
I didn't hear what he said.
We're safer in less numbers.
He said that your mom needs to go to the other room.
Oh, yeah. This is what we need to do. We
Tell-
stay in the king bed.
All right, here we go.
Those are the twins.
Lock the door. Oh wait, you have to leave first. And then
Classic.
Wait, so what happened after sleeping together?
So, yeah, we all, like, slept there, and just nothing happened, but we just couldn't sleep. Like, it just fell off.
yeah.
Like, how do you sleep after that? And why did I see that night and not the other nights? But the fact that I saw that the same night that something, like, leans over her and, like, blows in her face, like...
Yeah.
And I should have told her that night, like, but what do I say? Like, hey, I saw this, like,
Oh, hey,
Dementor.
by the way, I saw a Dementor. All right, night.
Like, get some good sleep, though.
Big day tomorrow.
No, and after the footsteps, it was just like, I just can't handle any more of this. I'm just going to go to bed. I'm going to pretend. Like, you know, you start questioning yourself.
Yeah.
But then after that happened to her, I'm like, that was clearly something.
So, did the Dementor come back, or?
So, yeah, like, we kept hearing footsteps, and I was just scared.
Oh
like,
my
I'm gonna
god.
get
At this point,
possessed
you
or
had a
something.
Patronus figured out, right?
Yeah. You had a spell book, right?
No.
Like, for real.
Guys, I was without any resources.
Did you have a Ouija board in the house or
Maybe.
something? Oh my
Yeah, no, maybe.
How do you say there's
bet.
no resources? Harry Potter was out.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's true. I did
You
all
were-
I would have started.
Obsessed.
Okay, here we go. Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
That's number 2. Sorcerer's
I'm, like,
Stone.
taking
Number
notes.
1. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. No, but then yeah, so my family's religious, so we wanted someone to come and like bless the house, like cast out any like demons or whatever is going on there. The people that came over, this part's just funny. They're like, "Oh, I know what it is." It was a man and his wife came over, and they're like, she's like, "I know what it is. I think it's squirrels." We're like,
I didn't know. Did you say, excuse me, I didn't know squirrels are 6 feet tall. I look like demons.
no, I didn't tell her what I had seen because I could just tell she wasn't going to believe me. So, I mean, like, if they're not going to believe us, why are they here to do this anyways? But I could just tell they were those type of people. So I told her about the footsteps, and she's like, squirrels.
Okay.
I'm out.
I'd have been like, lady, get out of my house. All right?
No, it gets worse. Then she's like, could it be Brent? My parents are divorced. And we're like, Brent who?
Yes.
She's like, your
Brent's
ex-
5'8".
Yeah. No, they're like, your ex-husband. And my mom's like, my ex-husband walking around my house? No, like, he wouldn't do that. Like,
No, but he was waving outside.
Who is this lady?
Yeah, jeez.
oh, man.
Not very
So,
helpful.
Oh, wait, I finally figured it out. Was it a bunny?
Yeah, just different animals. Well, and we felt so stupid. Like, she's saying that, and me and my mom look at each other like, you answer. No, you answer. And I'm just like, maybe not. So anyways, they did a blessing on the house, and nothing got better. And so we finally asked someone else to give a blessing on the house, and then it stopped.
Wow.
Wow.
Some
A
blessing.
lot of questions that aren't answered, a lot of things unexplained.
Maybe one day.
But I
That
don't like any
lady
of it.
sounds pretty dumb, though.
Yeah. Yeah, squirrels. I'm like,
There
that'd
aren't
be like
even squirrels here.
in our house
Did you
every
live in?
night.
Did you live in Flagstaff or something?
This was
Then
this
case
was
in
it.
point, not squirrels.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that they don't sound like human footsteps.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
scurry.
And they're not 6 feet
They
tall.
do blow
either.
in your face though a lot. I've
Yeah,
experienced.
that's
it.
true.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any other experience, like any other things that happened other than just
In my house, in that house.
like afterwards? Were there any other weird stuff that happened?
No, nothing after that. I mean, like as a whole in that house,
That was
yeah,
the
we had.
or that was like the climax of
Oh, that was.
paranormal.
There was like things leading up to that where we'd hear like voices or like
Oh,
doors like slamming.
That's even worse than footsteps to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
why are you leaving that
Seeing
out?
the things are
There was
worse.
like
But we hear
lights
stuff all the
going
time.
on and off and
There
doors
was like
slamming.
things thrown me across the room. But
that's
these
me.
footsteps, let me tell you.
Footsteps are getting me.
Oh
Well,
my
it's like two
gosh.
sets of footsteps, right? First story, it's like an actual person in the backyard footsteps. And this one, it's like something.
In the house, footsteps.
So was this
gosh.
house? You guys bought this house from another people?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was basically raised in that house there for most of my life. And I mean, there's just all kinds of things where we would hear, like my dad and us kids would be in one room and we'd hear like the door open and like the cabinets opening and he's like, oh, Mom's home. And we're like, Mom's home. And we go in there and no one's in there. And my mom wasn't home.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. It was
Normal.
just,
Super normal.
Super
I don't
normal
know.
in that paranormal house. Jeez.
we had this like old piano and my dad's like, maybe that was like a port key. Like maybe like, I don't know.
Back to Harry Potter.
Open the door.
It's all
The piano starts playing. Mom's home. It's like,
Casper's playing.
oh gosh.
Yeah, she's moved since. So
Well, I
nothing
hope
is.
so.
Yeah, I really
yeah.
hope so. Whoever's living in that house now, get out while you have a
It
chance.
was a lot. Voices, creepy whispering. I've heard all kinds of things that other people at the same time would say, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard that."
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's our
That's
ghost.
Maurice.
That's
Yeah.
our that's our
Maurice.
ghost. Yep, I heard that. Yep.
Yep,
Get used to it.
it's true. No, it never got less scary.
That is a crazy story. That was a good one to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So Garrison for sure will be up all night.
Yeah,
Yep.
Garrison's not sleeping for a week.
Yeah, probably not. Let's
I'm gonna
be
sleep
honest.
fine. I'm used to it.
Yep. Yeah, with all your footsteps and voices over here, I'm freaking out. Jeez, I'm not sleeping tonight. Have someone help me.
Help.
Well, thank you for joining us on Just Two Beardos. This is, again, our freaky Feardo edition. Again, thanks to Lisette and Jordan. You guys
Yeah,
are our
thanks
first
for
guests ever.
Having us. No, first guests.
First
Yep.
guests and our first
Really?
non-sports episode.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know
Wow.
anything about sports, so
Wow.
You should come on the fantasy football.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I literally don't know
You should
anything.
have her on. That'd be hilarious.
Well, I mean, you could help Garrison out because he literally can't do any worse than what he's doing now.
Oh, some smack talk. I think you're
Sad,
doing good, Garrett.
But for everyone at home, we're actually having a competition between us three, me, Keat, and Gare. We're going to have scare videos kind of like the one we had with Carrie. So we'll be doing that, releasing those as well. We also want you guys to submit them to us, I believe at justtwobeardos@gmail.com. So feel free to submit those. We'll pick a winner. Apparently it's going to be unbiased. According to Keaton, he says his mom's voting on it. So I don't know how that's
No,
unbiased.
that's for something else. That's
Oh,
for the
She'll be a good time.
costume party.
Oh,
okay,
costume
okay.
party. Yeah,
This one, we have to figure out who's gonna
Yeah.
pick this.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's true.
Carrie, Gina. They're
Well,
pretty.
I
They're pretty
mean,
unbiased.
No,
Yeah,
but
they're-
Carrie's in the videos, most of them.
Yeah, how
she
could
will
she
be
judge?
biased.
Yeah, she won't pick any of mine.
So yeah, submit those. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks to Garrison for being here. Hopefully he grows out his beard again.
Yep, we'll see.
You gotta have the beard back.
And yeah,
Gotta get it back.
Lisette and Jordan, feel free to come back whenever you guys want.
Thanks for
Thanks for
hosting
having
us.
us.
Yeah,
Good time.
A lot
absolutely.
of fun.
Fun.
No problem.
And all I gotta say after that, after Ryan's beautiful sign off, is bye everyone. See you next week.